Welcome to the official YouTube channel of IELTS Academy. As we have been helping you guys understand IELTS and understand the different modules, today also we are going to focus on a very important module, that is speaking module, and what this module actually consists, what are the parts it carries, how the test is conducted, and how you should be prepared, what are the criteria for the test. So let's begin by understanding the speaking module. So first, what is the speaking module? The speaking module is actually to check your ability to handle diverse situation in English language, because you are going to either settle or study in a country where the first language is English language, and therefore your communication should be very clear with the people who have been residing there since years, who are born and brought up there, so their English would be very fluent. So in that situation, whether you are able to understand the pronunciations, whether you are able to give answers properly, or whether you are able to understand what the examiner says, will determine whether you will be able to adjust in a English speaking country or not. And that is why this speaking test is being conducted. So your English should be different than others. What do I mean by others? I mean, when I say others, is other people, other non-native English speakers. So this test is conducted, as I said, before or after a day of LRW, and sometimes few days before also this test is conducted. The venue can be the same or the venue can be different, but that shouldn't be the bothering point. You should prepare yourself to an extent that no matter whatever the date may come, whatever the date may, day may, or time may, you should be able to answer properly. That day you are supposed to take your passport with you guys, and your passport is your identity. So once you take your passport, on the back side of the page, on the last page of your passport, they will stitch a sticker, and on it there would be written several codes. These codes are your examination details or your examination codes. So rest assured, it is not a matter of concern. So this passport is going to be your identity proof. Before entering into the room of the examiner also, you will be verified whether the person who has registered for the test is you or someone else. That verification is done outside the room, and after that verification you are taken inside the room of the examiner, and the examiner will again check your identity proof, and he will ask you to produce your identity proof, which is going to be your passport only. So just ensure that you keep your passport handy and at a safe place. So this examiner is going to greet you with a smile on his or her face, and according to the time, he will or she will greet you with good morning or good afternoon. So the test starts here. So basically, the examiner first will introduce himself, what his name is, and what his examiner number is, and what the date is, the time is, and all this, because he has to record each and every detail that happens between this 17 to 18 minutes. And even after he takes your test, uh, this recording is being assessed by some other examiner as well, and therefore recording is compulsory. Now this test is going to be in three parts. So part 1 will be introduction, part 2 will be a cue card or topic based question, part 3 will be follow up questions, and the test time is going to be 15 to 17 minutes. How is this test segregated in three parts, and how these three parts are divided into minutes? So it happens such as, part 1 can take, it may take 5 to 7 minutes, part 2 may take 3 minutes, and part 3 may take 7 to 8 minutes, not more than that, not exceeding 17 minutes. So it is just a matter of 15, 16, or 17 minutes, during which you have to perform your best. Yes, So what is that in part 1? So part 1 is a very crucial part. It is a part in which you are supposed to give very basic answers of very basic questions. And what are these basic questions? So basic questions would be about your family, your friends, where do you work, what do you work for, how do you work, where do you study. So these questions are going to be on that. Let's see how it works. So they are going to be like, family, friends, work, study, holiday, lifestyle, then about your hobbies, like, dislikes, and your interests and all that. Yes. So why is this part 1? This part 1 is basically to bridge the gap between you and the examiner. Yes guys, this part 1 is introduction part, or therefore in this part, in part 1, you're supposed to give basic questions answer. And once you give these answers, you will be very comfortable to handle situation which is going to arise in part 2 and part 3. So this part 1 questions, how are they going to be? So this part 1 questions can be on work, can be on your country, on your nation, on what do you like to study, what do you like to read, and all these questions can be on this only. So let's see what basic questions they may ask. So first they will ask you about your name. So what is there in the name, right? But here a name is very important guys, because he is going to ask you what is your name. So if your name is Priya or Priyanka, just don't say my name is Priya or my name is Priyanka. You are supposed to give full name. What do I mean by full name? If your name is Priya Priyank Panchal, you are supposed to answer my name is Priya Priyank Panchal, which means you should speak your name, your father's name, and your surname as well, so that the examiner in next question, when he asks how may I call you, how may I address you, you can say that you can call me Priya or you can call me Priyanka. So that is how this basic question about your name would be. Then the examiner may ask you, what do you work or do you study? So in that you can say, if you're studying, you can say I'm studying, I'm pursuing my IELTS, I'm pursuing my DCA, I'm pursuing my MCA or something of that sort. Or you can give real answers, you can give reality, and there is no need to create answers, right? Because these are all basic questions which are related to your lifestyle. So they are not going to be very difficult. Here one thing you should be remembering is you should not stretch your answers unnecessarily, because the basic logic behind it is that the more you stretch, the more chances of committing errors and mistakes are there, right? So please don't stretch your answers. Your answers can be 4 to 5 sentences, just that. Now the most crucial part of IELTS speaking is the speaking of the cue card. Yes, it is going to be the most crucial part. Why it is going to be crucial part? Because here you are given only 3 minutes to perform. Yes guys, here you will have only 3 minutes to perform. um, and these 3 minutes are segregated into two parts. Yes, two parts. What do I mean to say? Two parts. I mean to say that you will be given a cue card or a topic based question, and as soon as you are given the cue card, you will also be given a pencil or a pen and a paper that would be there on the table. And you will be given 1 minute to prepare on that given topic. So while you are preparing for the topic, you are supposed to prepare on the paper. And as soon as the countdown of 1 minute ends, 60 second ends, the examiner will start to tell you to start speaking. And you will be speaking. Yes, you will have to speak for at least 1 to 2 minutes. And that is how it happens. So speaking in cue card is it's not that difficult, because here also you are supposed to say your different experiences, and something on your experience of your vacation, your memorable incident, a person whom you admire the most, a person who has impacted you a lot, a person who motivates you a lot. So this is the sample cue card, guys. Describe a cafe you like to visit. One of my student was asked this cue card in her speaking test for last month. So this is a cue card. Describe a cafe you like to visit, and the bullet points: where it is, what kind of food and drink it serves, what do you do there, and explain why you like to go there. Now this is a cue card, and you will have to prepare on this given cue card for just 1 minute, and after 1 minute you will have to speak on it for at least 2 minutes. However, there are chances that the examiner may ask you to stop after 1 minute if he is convinced that this candidate does not require 2 minutes to prove his proficiency in English test. Now the last part is going to be your follow-up questions. So as the name suggests, follow-up questions. So follow-up questions would be the extended part of your part 2 cue card. Yes. So in this part, questions related to your part 2 cue card will be asked, and you will have to handle this situation there. But here there is difference between how you spoke in the introductory questions and how you are going to speak on the questions you are asked in this part. Now what is the difference? So the difference is, in this part of speaking test, you are supposed to give good, lengthy, big answers. Yes, your answers should be in detail, because here you have to explain and elaborate in details. So, in detail, you should be giving proper answers. So, this is your last chance to display your range of language, right? So, this is the last opportunity for you to get good bands, to snatch good bands from the examiner. So, perform your best. Now, in this part 3 examples can be, since we have just talked about part 2, which was about a cafe you visit. The follow-up questions here I have taken is about a cafe only. So the questions are: what kind of people would you would like to go to a cafe? Why do young people like studying in cafe instead of at home? Do older people like to drink coffee? Do Indian people like to drink coffee? So this kind of questions would be there in the follow-up questions. Now, the most important part here is the assessment criteria. So what the examiner or IELTS is looking from you or in you when you are appearing for the test is these four basic things. Which are these four basic things or this criteria? They are fluency and coherence, so FNC, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, your pronunciations. That's all. That's all. Right. Here below, I have tried to elaborate how a person who gets 6-point band has performed in these four criteria. So, if in fluency and coherence, that is how your sentences are connected with each other and how fluently you are speaking, according to it, this FNC, which means fluency and coherence, your bands will be given. So, lexical resources means vocabulary, grammar and accuracy means the way you speak, what kind of sentences you have been using, and what is the pronunciation, what your pronunciations are. Now let's see one by one. Fluency. What is fluency? Fluency describes the ease with which you are able to speak at length without noticeable hesitation, pauses, or repetition. Yes, guys, here you are supposed to speak continuously and without any pause. Even if you are doing these are considered as pauses, and you are sure to get less bends, lose your bends because they are called pauses. So just ensure that when you are practicing, someone should be there in front of you to tell you that you have been taking so many pauses, right? Also ensure that you do not use repeated words, repeated sentences, and if you do so, you are sure to get less bends because it is a kind of penalty, right? Now coherence refers to logical development of ideas. How you are linking your words and how you are linking your sentences with each other also matters here, right? So here also you have to be very careful, and you should ensure that your each of your sentences are interconnected with each other, and you are just not randomly or abruptly saying anything. If you do so, then it may hamper your bench scores. Mm, Fluency and coherence, the key factors, yes, they are key factors that contribute to higher scores in your bench scores. So what are these two things? So these two things are ability to keep talking about topic without much hesitation, repetition, and self correction. Yes, so if you happen to make any mistake, do not try to correct it. Just go on, go with the flow, and when you speak, consciously ensure that you do not commit or make any mistake. And if you at all commit a mistake, grammatical or in mistake in sentence formation, do not try to correct it. All right, because it will hamper your bench score, since it will be considered as repetition and your inability to create good sentences. So don't do that. You should refrain yourself from it. Now this is an extended part. Avoid repetition such as like, and all this kind of stuff. And lexical resources, as I said, it's a range of vocabulary, the kind of sentences, the kind of words you use. You should not repeat these words, such as if you're saying that it is important. So if you have to use importance and important word again, say pivotal, say crucial, say inevitable, say indispensable, right? Yeah, so these are the synonyms of important, and ensure that you use synonyms. So this is another part of your lexical resources, and tells you how you should speak more good words. Yeah. So this is the last part, I guess. Grammatical range and accuracy. GRA means that it is important to use variety of grammatical structures accurately. Yes. So in order to get good scores in a speaking part, you should be using good grammar. So you should ensure that you use passive voice. You use complex sentences. You should use, a comparative and superlative degree. You should use conjunctions, models, and use of collocations, phrasal verbs, and all that stuff matters a lot, right? Your answers can be hypothetical or can be unreal, but they cannot be without, um, I mean to say, there should not be with errors, and then only you are to get good bands. So please ensure that too. Now pronunciation is, you cannot say, well, I've seen that many candidates have been uttering different pronunciations, such as, illustration, they say illustration, and no is gno, and all that kind of stuff. So don't do that. It is certainly going to hamper your band. And these are the criteria that has been set by British Council. I have also tried to show it here that the material that I have taken is from the official website of British Council. Though I also thank British Council for this. Now, how you can practice? This is the most important part. So, how you can practice? You can not practice alone, because speaking needs audience, right? So you have to have audience with you. So if there is someone in your family who is good in English, who can identify the mistakes, who can rectify your mistakes, who can draw your attention towards your mistake, and who can tell you how you can improve, what you should speak instead of the sentence that was full of error, you should practice with the person. There is another way of practicing in speaking module, which is very traditional way of practicing. That is, students are told to practice in front of mirror. That is not wrong, but my suggestion to you guys is you should practice with your mobile phone and try to record your speaking so that it remains with you as long as you want. Whenever you feel like you want to see where you have been making mistakes, you can refer to that video, you can reverse it, you can forward it, you can rewind it and see where the mistakes are, so that when you repeatedly see this video, you come to a conclusion that this mistake should be avoided. So please ensure that you practice with someone. The last part that we need to tell you is, this is not a test of your knowledge. So do not try to give your extraordinary knowledge to the examiner. Rather, tell the examiner through your speaking, through your extraordinary speaking, that you are good in English. Your English efficiency is good. So focus on good sentence structure, good construction of your sentences, variety of vocab, good pronunciations. And that is the end of your that is the end of our speaking module slides. This is what we wanted to tell you, and we are there to help you. You can write us if you need any help. uh, Before ending, before signing off, I would like to request you to subscribe and like this channel, so that the next video that we upload you do not miss. We wish you all the very best for your speaking test. God bless you.